I'd like to welcome you to this special City Council meeting, September the 26th, 2022. In the interest of time efficient, ensuring that everyone who wishes to address the council again the opportunity to do so, the following will apply to all comments made by the public. If you desire to be recognized by the chair, please fill out a request form presented to the city clerk present here in council chambers. Speakers, should there be any, will be allowed 3 minutes to address the council unless such time is seen by the mayor or by questions from the council. The group shall designate a spokesperson to avoid repetitious comments. Every effort will be made to avoid interrupting speakers. Thank you for participating in your city government. If you have an electronic device, you might want to silence it at this time. With that, I'll call this special council meeting to order. And Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Blackwell?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Matheny? Here. Councilmember Urban?
Here.
Councilmember Askew?
Here.
Councilmember Trace?
Here.
The item before us is council action item number 1. Madam Clerk, please read that into the record.
Resolution number 2022-279R, a resolution of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, declaring a state of emergency relating to the storm known as Ian.
We'll ask our city manager if she would like to speak to this item.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Governor Ron DeSantis has issued an executive order declaring the state of emergency for Florida counties, including Osceola County, then followed suit and also declared a state of emergency. City of Kissimmee will also be doing so today and having it ratified by their city council tomorrow evening. Therefore, we're bringing this forward to you today so that you can also declare local state of emergency here in St. Cloud. This will allow us to apply for FEMA reimbursement and for other assistance as needed as a result of Hurricane Ian. Additionally, it allows me to adjust bargaining unit member schedules if needed. So staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Mr. Manzares.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's just follow up on the city manager's comments. We've drafted this resolution a little differently. If you look at the latest version that's been provided to you, we're also asking the council to give authority to the mayor to declare subsequent states of emergency in the event that the state and the county do similar for a future event like this. And so we'd ask, and we wanted to point out that that's what's included in this resolution. If that were the case, if there's another state of emergency for a subsequent event declared by the governor or by the Board of County Commissioners, then the mayor would have the authority to declare the state of emergency in the city, and then of course provide notice to the rest of the council that he's done so.
Thank you. Would anyone in the audience like to speak to that? If not, do we have any discussion by council?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Councilmember Matheny, a second from Mayor Blackwell. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Deputy Mayor Matheny?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Councilmember Askew?
Aye.
Councilmember Trace?
Aye.
Mayor Blackwell?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
This time, I'd like to ask Chief Miller if he could share with us any update that he might have regarding the Hurricane Ian and our city preparation.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Thank you for coming in on such short notice. The last 48 hours has been kind of a whirlwind, as far as we know, with Hurricane Ian. The storm started being tracked as tropical depression number 9. It really didn't seem like a whole lot initially. However, it was quickly developing into what they thought was going to be a hurricane, and as such, it has been named. It's currently a Category 1 hurricane. It's heading, obviously, towards Florida. It's going to go over top of Cuba, out into the Gulf, as projected by the current models. It gets a little squirrely from there, to be honest with you, depending on which models you're looking at. It goes anywhere from coming in over top of Sarasota, maybe even a little further south, down towards, escapes me, pretty much similar to the Hurricane Charlie track, for lack of a better term. Current model, though, shows it hitting Cedar Key, which is there north of Tampa. It's just short of the Big Bend area. At its storm strength, it'll be 140 miles per hour. However, in traversing the distance from Naples to Cedar Key, it is expected to drop to a Category 1. Some of the reason for that is because of some wind shear that's developing out there. Along with that, the storm dramatically slows down. It goes from about 13 miles an hour down to about 4 miles an hour as it crawls across Florida. Of course, with that comes the chance of feeder bands coming in, torrential downpours. We're slotted to get anywhere, depending on your location, from 0 rain if you're in a perfect spot and the bands are broken up around you, to up to 16 inches of rain in some locations. Yes, that is 16 inches. That's a lot of rain. What we can expect here locally in Osceola County, from what they're predicting, is tropical storm force winds in or around starting Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 4 and 6 p.m. Those winds would be 35 to 74 miles an hour. And they're expecting that to last until the following day around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which would be Thursday. Our strongest winds are slotted to be from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m., again, Wednesday till Thursday. We can't expect gusts, as it currently stands, in excess of 100 miles per hour. Osceola County is currently under a tropical storm and flood watch. And as I said earlier, 16 inches of rain. So we do have some sandbag operations that we've already started. We partnered with the county over the weekend at their location. We felt it was a little bit better to just do it all in one spot initially, so we could get some good game planning together. I think it worked out quite well in some respects. Where we're at as far as the city goes, as far as our prep, we're in full hurricane prep mode. As you know, last year you passed our comprehensive emergency plan, which included our incorporation into the Osceola County Comp Plan, or CMP rather. We also have our local one, which is in full effect. All our city buildings are in the process of being made hurricane safe, whether it be through shuttering, removing of loose debris, etc. All the generators are topped off. All your emergency vehicles have been cycled through fleet the best we can to get everything up and running that we have available to us. Sandbag operations will begin again tomorrow here in the city, down off of 17th Street. We modified the hours, though. Normally, we run that from 8 to 5. We felt it was important to capture those people that may be at work until 5, so we modified the hours and we're running noon till 7 or 7:30-ish, depending on how it falls, to allow those people who work a normal 8 to 5 job an opportunity to get down there. That's one of our customer base that we were missing in the past. Weather permitting, we'll be resuming sandbag operations down there on Wednesday again. The streets department's been out clearing drains, making sure that everything's cleared up and cleaned up down there. If anybody has anything, please report that to the city. We'd be happy to go out and take a look. The employee hotline will be established tomorrow also, which will let our internal customers, the city employees, know what's going on in the city, if they'll be reporting to work or not. Citizen information line is up and running, effective tomorrow morning, and that'll be for generalized information. They can call in. We'll have all the information, hopefully, to tell them where to get sandbags, special needs shelters, animal shelters, what shelters are open throughout the county, etc. Mr. Feblinger has had his personnel reach out to South Florida Water Management District and getting emergency pumping permits. They have opened up the locks just as much as they will open, and they are flooding waters down Canal 31. My understanding is it is wide open, looks a little bit like the rapids out there. The lake level is not great, but it's okay. Going along with some of these other things that we've been doing, the police department has helped us out. They've gone around and taken bird's eye views of all of our flood-prone areas so that we can show what it looks like under dry conditions, as well as all of the critical city infrastructure buildings in the event that anything's damaged for FEMA reimbursement. So we're well ahead of the curve there. We've got brand new current photos so that FEMA can't say it was past damage or anything like that. The transfer station, those guys are doing amazing work over there. I've heard reports of anywhere from 20 to 40% intake increase as far as volume. That's not to mention the fact that they're out running clam trucks everywhere under the sun trying to pick up all the debris on the side of the road that people have felt necessary to clean out their sheds and everything for today. I preface that with the comment that the transfer station will be closed on Wednesday. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts about it. The transfer station will be closed on Wednesday. Last trash pickup will be tomorrow. And the reason for that is they have to secure that site. The last thing we need is 100 million tons of debris blowing around out there. So they're anticipating closing that site Tuesday evening, and the transfer station will be closed on Wednesday completely so that they can make it ready for the storm. Other information of note, the shelters are being stood up by the Department of Health at various school locations. We'll get you further information, but if it's anything like recent past, I believe the first list that came out showed St. Cloud High School as a shelter and then Harmony as a pet-friendly shelter. We're working with local hospitals currently to determine what their census count is and what their patient load is in the event that there is a mass casualty incident where we can transport patients to. The police department as well as Osceola County have about 40 generators available between the two agencies for standing up traffic lights in the event that there's a large-scale power outage. And then obviously we'll be working with the city manager to determine as far as hours of operation for the city for non-essential personnel as the time comes. So, in a nutshell, there's your short update. Along with that, you'll be getting situation updates from our EOC starting tomorrow, once or twice a day, depending on how crazy it is. So, if you have any questions, I'm here for your pleasure.
Councilmember Trace.
Do you know if schools are open the remainder of the week?
Schools have officially been closed for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, according to the announcement I got from Dr. Pace on my phone, because I couldn't answer the phone call when they did the telecom call. Friday is to be determined, but they're planning on having the kids in. But again, I think that has a lot to do with what goes on with this storm. If it changes course, like we've seen one do before, and if it does not detensify or if it stays at its current intensity or the level 4, category 4, I'm not going to speak for them, but I'd be surprised if they wind up opening if that was the case.
Okay, thank you.
So, as a word of caution, watch the news, pay attention to the news, follow the emergency management sites. Don't listen to what a cousin's brothers, uncles, sisters told you on Facebook. Pay attention to the official news media sites. That's what we have Mary Emma in the back for, and that's what we have an entire fleet of public information officers for, is to get the right information out there to the public. And that means steering them to the emergency management sites and validated news media sites. So please take caution with the storm. We don't expect anything excessive out of it, but please just be cautious and alert that it is out there.
You have any other question? We certainly appreciate all the preparation that all of the cities taking and the work getting ready for the storm. And we certainly do encourage our residents that may be listening, do not take this storm for granted. Usually when that happens, you end up regretting it greatly. We encourage you not to do that. Chief Gerke, do you have anything for us?
Good afternoon, Council. Doug Gerke, Chief of Police. No, Mayor, thank you very much for having me. I just wanted to let you know we are very prepared. We checked all of our heavy vehicles, which is the high water rescue vehicles. They're all ready to go. We have some cameras that we can deploy to watch for any flooding, especially in the state streets. I will be out during the storm, and I'm going to be riding with our officers. So as long as we can be out there, as long as it's safe for us to do so, we will be responding. We're going to continue to clear the roads as best we can with law enforcement and fire, working very closely together. But I'll be around, so if you have any questions at all, you can call me directly. I'll be here. Any questions?
Thank you very much for all that you're going to be doing.
Thank you, sir.
Would like to just make a note that the Osceola Council on Aging will be a shelter, especially for those who have special needs. Again, remind you that there are 2 shelters available here in the St. Cloud area, Harmony High School and St. Cloud High School, and both of those are pet-friendly locations. Mind you again that sandbags will be available tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. At the 17th Street Civic Center location. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Noon to 7 p.m.
From noon. It'll be from noon till 7. Did you say 7? Yes. From noon till 7 p.m. Is there anything else that needs to come before our attention at this time?
You're correct, noon to 7 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
If not, could we consider ourselves adjourned at this time? Unless y'all want to stay, you're welcome. God bless you. Please be safe. Take care.